While I cook my meals, let me tell you people this story that happened in 2019. There was a madman that stays on the pedestrian bridge in Ogbefere Market, Onitsha. He was not the only mad person there, just that his own craze was in the highest grade of craziness. But you wouldn't know because he looks so gentle. He was not always on the bridge because sometimes I don't see him there, but some mornings when coming to work, I do see him there. I and my colleagues go to work very early. I used to work as a cleaner in one of the banks there, and we often make use of the pedestrian bridge. Why those who can cross the big express do so? Personally, you never see me crossing the express where there is a pedestrian bridge. I am usually very afraid of crossing express. I don't know if that is a phobia, and I usually feel very elated whenever I see an express with a pedestrian bridge or a traffic light. So sometime in June 2019, I saw one of my colleagues at the foot of the bridge, and the madman was standing at the step on the bridge. I was surprised. I don't know why she would be standing there unless she was waiting for someone. But who would ask anybody to wait for them at the foot of the bridge by that time of the day? Well, except lovers that are planning to elope. I asked her what she was doing there, and she said the madman wouldn't let her pass, that he asked her how she was, and she responded fine. Then he blocked her way. I was amused, and as Bruce Lee that I am, I asked her to follow me, that the madman wouldn't do anything. She followed me, and we passed. Later in the day, we recounted the story to our other colleagues, and we all laughed over it, and even made some fun with it by calling her madman girlfriend, by calling her madman girlfriend. When I got home, I told my mom about the madman, and it turns out she knows him very well. She said my colleague was even lucky he doesn't know her house. Else, he would have been visiting her every day because that is how he behaves once he develops interest in anyone. A week later, I didn't see the madman on the bridge. When I got to the office, I noticed that my colleague was crying and blood was rushing out from her knee where she had sustained a big fresh injury. I moved closer to her to know what the problem was. She said the madman on the bridge gave her the chase of her life. She said she wasn't aware he was on the bridge, else she would have just crossed the express or waited for people to start climbing the bridge, then she would join them. That since the incident of the previous week, she has been avoiding him. That morning, she had walked the whole length of the bridge. Getting to the second to the last step, she met him there. He held her, she withdrew her hand and made to pass. He held her again, then she picked race and began to run back towards the bridge, and he ran after her in hot pursuit. While running, she stumbled from the steps on the bridge and injured herself. Yet, he continued chasing her, but luckily for her, she was able to outrun him. Why else would a madman be pursuing a young lady very early in the morning, if not for an evil reason only known to him? You see, some of these madmen are grapists. I believe the one that gave my colleague a hot chase that morning had such intention, and I was glad whatever his intention was didn't come to pass. There also used to be one at Upper Iweka that grabs unsuspecting women, throw them into the gutter, and grape them. Yes, I know how to pronounce the word, but I am being cautious not to be banned. While in the act, nobody can rescue the unlucky victim from him until he is done. Then he will let the person go. He was handicapped but extremely strong whenever he wants to perpetrate his evil act. He raped a lot of women then until a trailer crushed him to death. But two staff said something that made my head turn on its own that morning. One said that once a madman begins to chase an African woman, it means the woman have been doing something really bad. Another person said that she needs serious deliverance because some demons are after her, and the incident that occurred that morning was a bad omen. The incident that occurred that morning instilled a great fear in me. I promised myself that I will learn to start crossing the express. If I can't cross the express, I will wait somewhere until a lot of people begin to pass the bridge. Then I will join them because one day he might decide to chase me too. But that day never came while I walked there. Though the same madman later tried to harass me last year, 2024, in another pedestrian bridge. But that's story for another time. I later learned from the security men in our office that the madman was caught by some guys and he was seriously beaten. They drove him away and warned him to never come back to that bridge again, else they will pie him. They said other women had been reporting about his harassment and they have been targeting him to see if we harass any woman again. The one he did to my colleague that day was the last stroke that broke the camel's back.